You asked for it, you got it. The Baseball Is Dead Patreon is now open for business.
What's a BID Patreon without drafts? You can draft absolutely anything, and that's what we're doing. We're drafting everything.
Well, we've got the blog. We've got Nugs on the blog. We've got a book club. That's meeting once a month. Here we go.
I'll be right there with Jay Hay writing, and you can catch us with gaming streams. Old games, new games, all of it.
Patreon.com/baseballisdead. We'll see you there.
I mean, this is a sport that's on the precipice of irrelevance.
The games are taking over 3.5 hours. Playoff games are taking over 4 hours.
Game's too long, too slow. Who cares?
This is a situation where baseball's in trouble to begin with.
I hate to break it to you, baseball's dead.
Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Man, if you missed Just the Nuts last night, you missed a performance. You missed a performance out of Dallas Braden's scooter that I don't think anyone in a very long time is going to stop talking about. Jay Hay, the McMahon, Coley, myself, we were out there streaming for about 4 to 5 hours through the West Coast slate. And then lo and behold, Dallas Braden pops up on this live stream. And I thought my man was in a golf cart in the parking lot. You know, it's like, oh, yes, Mr. Braden, we'll shuttle you over to your car before you sit in traffic for 9 hours on your ride home. I didn't know. All I could hear was like the whizzing of a small motor. I would say his hair blowing in the wind, but he doesn't have any. But you could tell he was on some sort of motorized vehicle similar to a golf cart. We finally get word that he's on a scooter. And by the time we realize that he's on a scooter, he pulls into his garage. It was of all the baseball that we sat there and watched for over 5 hours. The most fascinating thing that I learned last night was that Dallas Braden lives maybe 3.5 minutes from where he calls big league baseball games and has the most enviable commute to and from work of maybe any American in the workforce. Like that, it blew my mind. Like it took over the stream. I had question after question about it. I thought I knew the man. I didn't. The fact that you get to call A's baseball games and like you get there early, so it's like all right. So put it this way. I'm not trying to say this to put down any other broadcasters, but Dallas being a former player who has relationships with the manager, the coaches, and the players in the active roster, does it register with you that you as a broadcaster are in the weeds more than any broadcaster in the sport?
Yes.
It does. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I mean, because trust me, every time I call games, every time there's something that happens behind the scenes, I around every corner have to watch what I say, have to remember what I can say,
that's
and
privileged
I know,
information. Yeah,
absolutely. Like
you're not supposed to know this. You were sitting in on like a fucking hitters meeting, and it's like,
right.
well, yeah, like that's not supposed to be on the broadcast. Yeah.
Right. I'm watching guys work through things. I'm very privy to a lot of the goings on behind the scenes, whether it's from a data analytical perspective, specific player adjustments, like roster moves, things like that. Yeah. So I don't I've told them I have lied to my broadcast partners to their face. And I've told them that I'm lying to your face. I mean, I just cannot tell you. I can't tell you. And they understand. They get it. But yes, no, I have a very real, like, put it like this. Today, I'm getting to the ballpark early because I'm going to go talk to your pitching coach, Jared.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, tell him I said hello.
Boom, boom.
I feel like every time I see him, he's just on the move. He is not a stationary guy ever.
No,
ever.
Well, he's a hustler, man. That's what I love about. That's why I love Boom Boom, because from the time he got to the big leagues to the time he became who he was, we're talking about the 2009 Rookie of the Year. Like the dude has been trying to get better at whatever it is that he's doing. Right, he's done phenomenal work off the field as well, philanthropically. He's got multiple endeavors that he's either spearheading or is a part of. So it doesn't rest in the offseason. He's still a grinder. And if you're a pitching coach of a big league team, the offseason, I won't say arguably is more busy, but it is just as important, if not more important, because you're starting to lay the groundwork for next year. You're starting to figure out who can be pieces to this puzzle that just gets bigger during the offseason. And that's why, for me, he's one of my dearest teammates. And I got so much love for him because he takes his job very seriously. He did from the time he was bullpen coach in Anaheim to making his way to the point he's at now. And I mean, you guys know me. I have a lot of respect for people who have that kind of work ethic. That matters a lot to me. And he's shown it every step of the way. So I absolutely fucking love it.
We always hear Dallas with managers or even more hitting coaches like, oh, this guy, you knew he was going to be that when he was a player. Did you feel that way about Bailey back then? It was like, clearly this guy's going to be a coach of some sort.
You know, I was just asked this question the other day about Boom Boom and about Brez. And our Hall of Fame radio announcer, Ken Korak, he goes, we had the smartest man in baseball on the team. We had Andrew Bailey on the team. And then he goes, and we also had Craig Breslow on the team. And he looks at me like, no, nobody thought I was the smartest man in baseball. But his point was, and his question was, did you see Brez in this line of work? And I said the answer was yes, because this was a guy who was always looking at things differently and more so from a business perspective. Roster construction was something that we talked a lot about on our plane trip, on our plane rides, and for Boom Boom, I think it was just something that when you bleed the game, you find any way you can to be a part of it. When it's what pumps the blood through your heart, you find any way you can to be a part of it. And for both, I'll be totally honest, Andrew Bailey could very well be a part of the front office. Should he hang up the spikes and get out come out from the role of pitching coach, he could definitely be a part of a front office. And I think that's something that we have all kind of talked about at times, and we all appreciate. Like when I saw Brez last year in Boston, he was like, dude, he's like, I'm so glad to see you doing this because I know what you know. I know how you see the game, and I'm glad you get to convey this in a way where you get to explain it to fans. I know how much you love baseball, and I echo the same sentiment, which is why, early on with all the stuff that's going on with the Sox and during his, his early tenure, which fair to say was kind of bumpy getting off the ground. I was sort of taken aback because I know the dude and I know how much he does care about doing things in a way where there's a product you can be proud of. So to answer your question in a long-winded way, yeah, I did see Andrew Bailey absolutely having his hand still in the game and making an impact. And I'm so fucking happy that he has done the work that he's done because he got the acknowledgement as a player that he deserved. And I hope people truly appreciate the work that he's done on the field as well, helping guide and just give young pitchers. Because look, bottom line, dude, a pitching coach in the big leagues, especially today when you have all the resources available for you from the data analytics perspective, you are more so a psychiatrist and a translator of information than you are necessarily a pitching coach. And I've long said that there are differentiators, right? We have velocity coaches. We have biomechanists who really focus on how the body moves. And then you have a pitching coach. I'm not going to go to the biomech guy, and I'm not going to go to the velo guy to talk to them about pitch sequencing, reading swings, things of that nature. Just like the pitching coach might not be necessarily geared to talk to you about how the body moves in the same way that the biomechanist guy does. And he might not necessarily be geared to tell you how to design a certain pitch based on the aerodynamics and the flight of the ball and seam shift, things of that nature. That's why being able to get the hybrid individuals who do have an understanding, at least a base level understanding of all those, is important. And that's the kind of brain that Andrew Bailey has. He has an understanding of how the body moves. He has an understanding of how the baseball flies. And he also knows what it's like to go out there and lay your nuts on the table and say, when all else fails, here's my best shit. Come fucking get it. And you need to be able to translate all of those in a fashion that gets a guy excited about the work he's putting in on the long summer days where you feel like you can't figure out what the fuck is going on. And he's also a guy who can tell you, remember, you're a fucking big leaguer for a reason. Go out there and compete with your best shit, go get outs, and let's roll. Because at the end of the day, the biomech guy ain't going to save you. The pitch design guy ain't going to save you. The velo coach ain't going to save you. It's going to be you and me figuring out how to get these fucking outs. Got it? Let's roll.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like I we did the Coliseum doc. Shout out to Mikey. It's on our YouTube channel. What's it called? It's something.
Last Ride.
Yeah. Last Ride. It's the last day of the Coliseum, so like you kind of get to see like behind the scenes of Dallas Braden doing his thing, but like it's still only scratching the surface of like what it was. It was almost like that was like the last day of school. It's like, all right, yeah, you followed me around on the last day of school. That's not what like a normal day at school looks like. So just we'll probably never get to be a fly on the wall for something like that, because obviously we're not going to be in fucking hitters meetings, and we're not going to be in the manager's office with the door closed and what have you. We're not going to be, watching bullpens. Some of that, I'm sure like a bullpen is not a big deal, but comparative to other big league broadcasters, and again, not a knock on them. It's not that they're lazy and don't want to do it or don't put in the effort to do it. They're not allowed to do it. You know what I mean? So like A's fans getting that sort of like the person that is narrating your summer is more locked in than any baseball broadcaster that you could sub in or flip the channel to listen to. That's pretty fucking cool. It's just the only thing is it would have been nice if your team didn't fucking suck. And, if there was like a good product on the field, but the knowledge, you can't knock the knowledge that you're getting on the broadcast.
It's a long summer. I appreciate that, man. I do.
Yeah. Otto Lopez was on the podcast on Monday, and we again, talking about the stream. I know that there's people that are just podcast people. There's people that are, I don't know that there's just stream people, but people that like the stream, people that don't like the stream. We had a conversation on the stream about Otto Lopez, and I asked Jay, hey, like, does this fit in your rankings of like, I didn't know anything about the guy, interviewed the guy, and now I'm a fan of the guy? And we both agreed that interview made us fans of Otto Lopez. Dallas, I saw the pinky.
Yeah, no, I was just to echo that. I had people at the ballpark who, like a lot of the workers that listen to us, were like, bro, fuck Otto Lopez. Love that dude. That dude. That's incredible. Had no idea like that he was that personable. Had no idea that he like just, and they loved they loved your question about the Dominican Mount Rushmore, and there were some folks that were like, no fucking Pedro, no fuck, but yeah, like it was definitely enlightening for a lot of people who appreciated not knowing who he was. They went and looked up his numbers because, guys roll through the ballpark and you see him for 3-4 days, especially it's an NL East guy. And they're like, well, what do I even care about these dudes? And then they're like, fuck, this dude's balling. It's like, yeah, Otto Lopez, good player.
Yeah. I mean, I keep, even without the interview, I keep hearing a lot of people that really like this guy around here,
Buster only agrees with you, Jared.
Does he?
He does.
Yeah.
Certain names have come up in conversations.
Who knows? Yeah. Patreon.com/Section 10 podcast. Yeah. The scoop shop over there. I was on the stream. I was in the Discord, content don't stop. T.
I made the point. People were wondering why I didn't aggregate it. That stuff that's in there, it's for only the people that is in there. So if you want to be a part of it, go get in there. It's not going to be on anyone's timeline.
Yeah. And people that screenshot, I will fight you. Yeah.
I'll break your legs.
Yeah. There's been some of that, which, I mean, you can't police the internet. The internet's the Wild West. That's going to happen. But yeah. Scoop shop, people were like, where the fuck's all the information, man? You guys are scamming us. It's like, well, you can't make scoops fall out of the sky. But last night we were streaming. A scoop came in, threw it in there, and it was like watching, like, you throw the chum in the water, and here comes fucking draw. Oh, they swam to the top real quick. Crackheads in that fucking Patreon Discord. But yes, check out our Otto Lopez interview from Monday. Today, Corbin Carroll, 2-time BID guest. Wow. Yeah. 3-time All-Star, 2-time BID guest. Which one's more important? Not for us to decide. For us to decide.
2-time cat dad as well.
He's got 2 cats?
Yeah, he said he's got cats. He said he's got 2 cats.
I didn't know that he put a number on it.
Well, because we asked him if we could combine the cats into one dog.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
And he loves his cats. So
he sure does. As it is a Wednesday episode, that also means Family Feud today. Yeah.
One of my favorite guests.
Very, very special guest. I should have read into this a little bit more, but like the thing about Jay is he's probably the most likely BID person to be super like careful about how he words things. So like he kept saying like he or she, and I was like, all right, you just don't want to insult the female listenership by saying like it has to be a guy, but I didn't think it was going to be a woman. It's my mom today. Yes, Ellyn Carrabis.
Every bit of a woman.
Yeah. Whoa. What the fuck?
What?
What does that mean?
What
does that mean to be every bit of a woman?
Just a great woman. That's all.
What is that? But to be every bit of one.
That's just what I mean. Out of the dude,
I don't know what that means though.
She is woman.
Yeah, she is woman.
Hear her roar. Yes.
Yeah. Whoa. Ellyn Carrabis on Family Feud today. Very excited. She's making her, I believe, the podcast debut. She was on Dialed In with Dallas Braden, correct?
Correct.
That's the only time I think she's ever been in content. So like this is the first time she's been on the pod. I've called her. Like I think like she's been like in segments where I've called her over the phone, but not like I don't think she's ever physically been on the show before.
I asked a few people beforehand whether you would get mad if we had your mom on, and
no,
the consensus was definitely not. So I went ahead and pursued your mom as a guest. Yeah.
I shielded my family from like the Barstool era because like that audience, they're just relentless with that stuff. So back then I was like, no. But now like we're so far removed from it that I don't care if my family's
We're
on.
such
like,
a nice community.
Yeah. Like I'm sure at some point fucking Jenna's gonna come on, motherfucker, and she's gonna fucking get all the answers right. Yeah, So then that way I will be absolved of any like, oh dude, you really exaggerate your sister's accent. No, I don't. Like, no, I don't.
It's so good. I love it. I genuinely love it.
I can't believe your mom didn't say anything to you. Like you guys talk every day.
Every day. What do you think? She's going to ruin the surprise?
I don't know. I feel like maybe she'd struggle to keep something like that from you, or it's
I'm her sweet baby boy. You think she would want to ruin a surprise that would make me excited and happy?
My mom can't keep a secret, so maybe I'm projecting.
Oh, she's keeping a couple from you.
All right. No need. No need. Especially with Dallas here. We don't have to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You already have Jared's mom. You don't need my mom too. Okay?
What the fuck? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Come on. You need both.
No, he
How
doesn't.
selfish are you? Jared, you lost already.
No,
don't
I
let
didn't.
me lose too.
What do you mean?
I want to keep my mom.
No. You just handed my mom over to Dallas.
You handed her over.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that.
Hey, as far as Ellen's concerned, I'm a 10 when it comes to being the Rico Suave that you just can't deny.
Jesus Christ.
Her words, not mine.
Yeah, my 30th birthday, Dallas shouted out my mom like over like the loudspeaker at the Coliseum.
It was on the video board.
On the video board, yeah. It was my birthday. And he did a video.
But without her, we don't get to celebrate you. You know,
that's right.
I like to get down to the root.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Breaking news.
Wow. I don't know how much of that we can play without getting demonetized, but Alek Manoah released by the Angels.
Oh man, we already said goodbye to him. Actually,
yeah, we did. Yeah,
look up the box score of his last 4 starts in AAA. It's absolutely insane.
I don't think I want to do that.
I think he might be done. Yeah.
I'm an Alek Manoah fan. I don't want to see him go out like this. I want to remember him like at the All-Star game in LA. That's how I want to remember him. 2022.
That ship has sailed, brother.
I mean,
that's not how anybody's remembering Alek Manoah. Sorry.
July 28th. These are his last starts at AAA.
Jesus.
He went 3 1/3. He gave up 7 earned. July 22nd, he went 3. He gave up 6 earned.
That's not
on the 11th, he went 2. He gave up 8 earned. And on July 5th, he went 3 1/3, gave up 8 earned. And one last time on June 30th, he went an inning and a third and gave up 6.
All right.
That might be the worst stretch
8
of all
runs to
time.
6. That's a good step forward.
So Milky, here's how you look at it. All right. 5 games started. Over his last 5 games started for the Salt Lake Bees, it is a 19.93 ERA.
It's a good year.
31 earned runs over 14 innings.
That's not good.
21 walks to 11 strikeouts.
Can you work with that, Dallas?
8 homers. I tell you, there's malleable and then there's invaluable. And yeah, that man, it is brutal. I'll be honest. I think we all kind of talked about it. We didn't want it to be a thing, but I don't think there's been a moment that he has recovered since the pitch timer entered the equation.
Oh, that's interesting. I remember when that was supposed to be like the downfall of Kenley Jansen, and like, God bless. Who else was like the guy that took forever that they thought was going to be really impactful? Was it Manoah?
Yeah,
there was someone
Manoah.
else.
Well, it wasn't that Manoah took forever. It was that, like, just watching him try to recover, you could tell, like, it was visible, like, oh man, like this guy is struggling to get back on the mound and recover, and you're watching the stuff suffer. And I think it was obvious. And I just didn't want that to be a thing. I didn't want that to be a reason why. You talk about it, you acknowledge it, because I think not that you'd be ignorant not to at the time, but it was so obvious that you mention it and then you move on, because I don't want to beat that drum, because then it's like I'm telling you that this player, like, that's why he's not good, because he can't adjust to the clock. And if there's a very real inability to physically recover, we're talking about how impactful the pitch timer could have potentially been with injuries and guys pressing the pedal to the metal, and what that does in terms of limited recovery time. Well, it's not even about an injury. What if you just can't muster the stuff because the time doesn't allow you to recover, and your stuff suffers as greatly as it does? And I think you can go back and look from that moment on. Alek Manoah has just not, he just was never the same.
No, it sucks. I was a fan. I still am a fan.
Yeah, I love him because he had a fucking attitude, you know?
Yeah, and he owned it. He owned it. He wasn't like, he didn't have these moments on the field that obviously were polarizing and then walk away and try to distance himself from them. He was like, yeah, I did that shit. he was 10 toes down on that.
It does feel like he was cursed post Bobby Dalbec moment. That does always exist kind of in the back of my head. But when you see how much the stuff has declined at this point in time, he's 28 years old. And obviously he's gone through injuries and all that's played out. I know the conditioning was a major point of conversation for a lot of people with him for a long time. His four-seamer, it's 88 miles per hour. And the sinker is at 88. Like, it's not Major League Baseball quality stuff, and it hasn't been for a decent chunk. At least if it's more than one inning.
Perfect games with stuff like that.
In 2026, I think we exist in a different world.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying that there's individuals with that stuff that if they pitched today would not have thrown a perfect game. Yeah.
Asterisk perfect game. Okay.
Yeah.
Alek Manoah is not Dallas Braden.
Ancient MLB pitchers wouldn't exist today.
Yeah. Was I fucking throwing it underhand?
Yeah.
A little different coming from the left side. Come on.
Anyways, we recorded, in addition to Family Feud that's today, Corbin Carroll, Otto Lopez. The BID Patreon has the cartoon character draft, which we recorded today, which will drop on Thursday. The next draft will be baseball related / adjacent. We did decide that on the BID Patreon, we at least one draft a month will be baseball related. The rest, you never know what you're going to get. You quite literally never know what you're going to get. I threw out the idea of a Mitchell Report draft. I don't know if there's enough players to pick for. I don't know. That one you would actually really have to do some research on, because it's like some of the players you might not even have maybe never even made it to the big leagues. Like your draft, I don't know. But we'll see. But patreon.com/baseball is dead. And for all your baseball apparel, all of it, Baseball Lifestyle, we partner with them this season. I hope we sign a 50-year deal with Baseball Lifestyle, because as long as I'm alive, I will be doing this podcast, hopefully with these gentlemen right here. I have no intentions of ever retiring from this, and I have no intentions of ever having another baseball apparel company attached to this brand, our brand that we built. It's the perfect partnership. I'm very excited that this came to fruition. Been repping them for 7 years, and now to have a business relationship with Baseball Lifestyle, what a dream come true for what we have built with our brand to be connected to their brand. Baseball Lifestyle. They got the t-shirts, they got the hoodies. What else they got, T? They got the short sleeve hoodies, they got shorts, they have sweatpants. They've got everything. The hats, you're right. Yep, they've got hats. Jay Hay's wearing it right now. Dallas has the t-shirt on right now. I'm about to probably this weekend, maybe not today. I'm a little busy today, but this weekend I'm going to hit them up and be like, send me a fucking fridge-sized box with everything that I don't have. Because at this point, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like when we moved into the new house, I told Train, I was like, don't ask me my opinion on how to decorate the home. You decorate, like, you just send me the links, I'll buy them, and then you decorate the house however you want. I have this third floor. It's my only space that I get to make my own. So I'm going to have like a reserve closet up here that's just Baseball Lifestyle clothes. That's it.
I think they heard you roasting me, and I've loved that Baseball Lifestyle hoodie so much. I've been wearing it all the time. The camouflage one. I've worn it on here. 2 more. Just arrived. More? I'm ready to rock. I'm going to be rocking them on the pods this morning.
Wow. Okay. All right.
You don't even have to worry about washing them.
Nope. You're just going to send me a new one, wear it one time, and throw it out.
I love that. I love the folks at Baseball Lifestyle. BL101.com. Promo code BID gets you 20% off if it's your first order. I love this company so much that I don't have an ad read for them. I'm just talking. BL101.com. Promo code BID gets you 20% off your first order. Someone I saw in the chat last night, Dallas, said BL101 BID merch collab. I would like that.
I'm telling you, this is my thought. This is my idea. Because I am on television every single day during the baseball season, if we were able to put together a polo with a BID /BL101 logo,
we could do that.
Could be small, could be discreet, maybe on the collar, maybe something just done and done. Done
do that.
And done.
I bet you we could like make you a custom one of one that has like the A's logo on it and the BID logo on the other side or something like that.
I mean, I'm telling you, like I think just little Johnny on one end of the collar, another on the other end of the collar, or just on, we could talk about it offline, but I think that would absolutely fucking smash because people want to wear, some people don't want to wear just a t-shirt to the ball game, which I understand, right? Like if you're going to a party at the ballpark, if you're going into one of the luxury suites, if you're going into one of the maybe a more formal area, and it's not like you want to wear a suit and tie to the place, but you wouldn't mind throwing on a golf polo. Well, why not a Baseball Lifestyle 101 polo? Why not a BID BL 101 collab polo? That's just my thought.
Yeah, I like that. I love little custom Johnnies like that. All right. It's time for Corbin Carroll's second BID appearance. Enjoy. Corbin Carroll's back. Hey. What's up?
Thataway.
It's second time on the show, which is fantastic. I saw you at the All-Star game, but there was a bunch of people I don't like waiting in lines. There's a bunch of people waiting to talk to Corbin Carroll at Media Day. And I was like, y'all have fun with that. We're gonna get our turn on the podcast at some point. But it was your third All-Star selection. If I had stood there and waited 45 minutes to get to ask you a question in the blazing hot sun in Philadelphia, I would have asked you, how does each All-Star experience compare to the other? Because I feel like the first one is like, holy shit, I made the All-Star team as a major leaguer. Like that one is special and unique. The second time, I feel like, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, this is how I would personally feel if I if I was selected the first time, it's like, all right, box checked. Like that's exactly what you want to do. The second time almost puts that pressure on you as a multi-time All-Star. Does it make you feel a pressure now where it's like, I've got to make it every year?
No, I mean, I think the second one for me was just was coming off of a tougher year the year before, and so to do it again, I think just meant a lot to me. And then the first one was kind of like you said, I think my rookie year, knowing it was in Seattle where I'm from, and then just it's what every kid dreams about, right? Making an All-Star game. So that was kind of the first one, and then this one for me was special too. Really enjoyed it.
So like the third one, I feel like, I don't know. So I don't know how candid you want to be about this topic, but the number of first year All-Stars, A, it can be exciting, or B, we can look at it being like the top star. Like, we need the top stars here. Like, how did you feel about the turnout for this year's All-Star game?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say just in general, I'm not. I mean, the thing that comes to mind on that topic is just I'm not a huge fan of the fan voting. I think it'd maybe make more sense the other way around, where the starters are selected, based on who's having the best year, and then the fans can kind of still decide who they want to have there, but maybe more in like a reserve situation. I think just from the player perspective, it just feels like the All-Star starters should be based on the merits of what you've done.
Fair and agree.
I mean, that's such a great point. And I think kind of what Jared was getting at is there's been like a guy like Zach Wheeler, the kind of year that he had and the kind of first half that he had. Dude was fucking slicing and dicing and should have been there, and was not acknowledged early on. And then they kind of circled back to him after he was like, really? Like, come on. And then he's like, thanks, but no thanks. I'm all good here. What I loved when we heard from guys like Justin Verlander, right? Dude's on his way out, but he's talked about, and King Griffey talked about his presence in the home run derby, but like feeling that responsibility as a gatekeeper, as an active gatekeeper of the game, as an example for young guys like you. I mean, you show up your first All-Star game, you're rookie of the year, right? Like, people already understand what kind of season that you're having. So do you feel like there is a responsibility? Should you be performing? Let's live in a world where it's always based on merit first. And you, like the perennial All-Star talent that you are, find yourself in the All-Star game for the next 6-7 years in a row. Do you feel the responsibility to show up and show these younger players who could be making their way into the All-Star games regularly, hey, we owe it to the fans, and we owe it to the game, and we owe it to ourselves, because this is the kind of stuff you dream of when you're 6, 7, 8 years old making Little League All-Star teams?
Yeah, I'd say more kind of in that second vein, right? Like, this is what you dream of doing. It's so special, and so I don't know why you wouldn't want to be a part of it. I think that the only real reason for if you've got some sort of health thing going on, I think it makes all the sense in the world to kind of rest and get right for the team that pays you, be ready to go for that second half. But I think other than that, it's just such a special celebration of baseball, and a huge honor to be a part of. And so I think people should do it.
Something else I wanted to ask you is, when you go to the All-Star game, pitchers show up and are like, oh, dude, I want to go talk to so-and-so. I want to talk about grips. I want to talk about, approach and things like that. I mean, you have such a special skill set. You have the ability to power the baseball all around the yard. You're a threat on the base path. I mean, you've led the fucking free world in triples since you walked into the game. Who are you walking up to, or who's walking up to you now? And what are you discussing from a hitter's perspective, from a position player's perspective? Because we know what pitchers talk about, but what are you guys talking about? Who are you walking up to? Who did you walk up to? Who's walked up to you now and be like, yo, Corbs, what do you got on this?
Yeah, I feel like the classic thing that hitters talk about with each other is it's always checking out each other's bats. Like, what are you swinging? So there was a little bit of that this year. Saw Harper's 34-34 that he's swinging right now. Thing's pretty wicked. Yeah, exactly. You want to see who's getting the best wood. So
sure. Okay. All right.
I think it was Bleacher Report that went around making a video asking all the players like what statistic that they look at most to determine how good a player is. Did they ask you that, and what did you say?
Yeah, they did. I said ex-Woba. I saw that video.
It was you then. Okay, all right. So I was about to say, like, someone said expected Woba, and I was like, whoa. So talk to me about like expected stats and why it is that you value them so much.
I think I value them because they're a little bit more predictive of like what's going to happen moving forward. And so, like I would say early on this year, my OPS and kind of those numbers were in a good spot, but some of the underlying stuff just wasn't necessarily conducive to like keeping that where just doing that over the course of a season. And so I think just like recognizing that and not just being like, oh, I'm doing so great, just realizing that there was a lot of stuff that I felt that I had to work on and improve on, and still feel like I'm kind of in the middle of going through that right now. I think that's where I find the value in it is when the expected numbers are good, that your process is in a good spot.
Who put you onto that? Like, is that like someone within the team? Is that an agent? Is that another player in the league? Like, are you just a curious baseball fan while also in the league itself?
I mean, I think it's more just out of the place of wanting to be, a good player and kind of digging into, the things that lead towards long-term, success, because this league changes and how they attack you. And, I think just knowing yourself and knowing what you need to work on and kind of how to counterpunch, and stay adaptable is how you really you stay around.
Speaking of staying adaptable, how do you evaluate? What do you evaluate when you're going through a scouting report and you understand? All right, velo, spin. You understand the repertoire. Beyond that, what are things that you like to try to isolate to give you the best opportunity to either be able to pick a pitch, be able to pick a side of the plate, or just kind of develop an approach that you feel good about taking into that day's game?
Yeah. I think there's all sorts of ways that you can do that. I would say, I think modern pitching, in how many different types of pitches are being thrown now, are sort of or just make it harder than ever to game plan. You used to face a guy and it's, maybe fastball, slider, cutter, and it's like, all right, like I'm going to push him out away from me. But now that guy's got, a two-seam too. It just seems like everyone's protecting their pitches, in a way that's working. It just seems like pitchers are smart, and so. But what I'll try and do is there's some stuff that I look at to really understand like how a pitcher commands the zone and his pitches, and make a plan of attack from there. Is this a guy that I'm going to have to be patient with and is kind of nibbling the corners, or is this a guy that's going to, be coming at me from pitch one. I think just trying to understand, what a pitcher, kind of how he's going to attack me, and then make a plan based around that.
That is such a hitter response, such an intentionally vague response as to not reveal the hand. Well, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want to get off on, and I'd like to get off on it early if you could, please. What I gleaned from that is if you've got 3 fastballs, you're a motherfucker of an at bat, and I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. So I'm going to have to pick a spot early. I'm going to have to pick a pitch early. But I totally respect that, because it is you're right, dude, and that's what I think is most impressive about you. Is how you, even in a short burst, right? It's not like you've spent 12 years in the league right now and are having to adapt to new stuff that's coming along, but you've been a part of and very much in the middle of the evolution of the game, especially the way things have gone on the mound, and you continue to trend positively with the evolution on the mound. And I think that
honestly, you're right. Like, I haven't been around that long, but even when I came up in 22, like, you faced a reliever, most of those guys were 2 pitches. And now it's like, even the relievers, a lot of them have starter repertoires in terms of how many pitches they're throwing. It's been pretty fascinating to see, how quickly this game moves and how much better this league is getting.
Is that something that you notice, or is that someone on staff that's like, hey, by the way, like, this dude that used to be, 4-seam changeup is now 4-seam changeup slider, 2-seamer? Like, is that something that you're just noticing yourself, or in the pregame, like, hitters meetings, are they putting you onto this?
Yeah, I mean, we see their pitch plots. We see what they're throwing, and so I mean, I think it's just been pretty black and white. You just see guys experimenting. It probably speaks to team's ability to get guys to be able to throw different shapes and just be able to work with kind of each pitcher's limitations, in a sense, right? Like, most guys are either going to cut the ball, like spin the ball well, or be more like 2-seam changeup. But now it seems like the guy that, can cut the ball really well and can't necessarily, get around his changeup. Right now he's got a splitter. It's interesting to see.
Jay, hey.
I mean, when I think of you, I mean, obviously diverse skill set, but I think first and foremost right now about the triples. And you would be, you currently lead Major League Baseball in triples. If you end the season leading Major League Baseball in triples, you'd be the first player in the sport's history to lead the majors in 3 consecutive seasons. What I'm not asking you to look ahead to achieving that feat, but what does being the pace setter?
This would be 4 straight.
4.
Right now, he's tied
Baseball,
for the active lead amongst all active players with 55.
Right. So what I was saying, 3 straight years in Major League Baseball, 4 straight years AL or NL. This would be the first player to ever do it 3 straight years for Major League Baseball as a whole. What would that mean to you? Or in general, what does you being the pace setter for triples, the standard bearer in the sport, what does that mean to you?
I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun play. I think the fans, especially when we're at home, I've been told that they enjoy it, and that's kind of just an exciting moment in the game. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just, from my perspective, it's like, if I can get on third base, especially before 2 outs, and give my teammate a chance behind me to hit with, not having to get a hit to score a run. I think, it's just maybe a little bit of a unique situation that, Chase Field definitely helps me out there. Big ballpark, big gaps, and good down the line too. So yeah, I think just, it's a fun play.
Just a quick follow up. Is there any art to like reading the outfielders, either where they're positioned or how they pursue the ball, like off the bat to you, that makes you kind of digest it in real time and change how you're thinking about where you're going to get?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get thrown out. If you're on second base, you're in scoring position. So I think I just try not to get thrown out, stretching it.
He hit a triple against us, and I'm sitting in the booth, and I'm just like, as soon as I see the ball off the bat, I was like, that's a fucking done deal. Like, just the way, because you're very fun to watch run the bases, and I've seen you hit many triples, and that's what I take away from it. Is it's not only out of the box triple mindset, but the way you cut the bag at second. I mean, it was a stand up triple. It was like as easy as a guy just shooting a ball the other way through the hole and walking to first base. That's what it looks like when you get to third base. I was like, God damn, this dude, such a nuisance. We talk about the evolution of the game, and you just highlighted bullpen arms and how they've evolved. From a technological standpoint, what do you think has been or could be one of the most impactful tools / resources from the offensive side of the game? Because we've long understood that hitters have been trying to play catch up with what's happened on the mound. And we can go back to the sticky stuff and how tough of a time that was for you guys as hitters to deal with. But what do you think is going to be, or could potentially be, that's already here, one of the most impactful resources from a hitter perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, it's been kind of the biomech side of things. I think taking out a little bit of the guesswork when things start going awry, and having some concrete information to surmise what's changed, and the direction that you need to go towards getting back to when things are going well. I think that's been a really helpful tool for me that I've used, and I've starting to see some of that creep into professional baseball. My hitting coach I used last year got hired by the Nationals this year as one of their assistant hitting coaches, and we just played them, and you kind of see the job that they're doing. With their hitters over there. I think just it's pretty interesting to see, just how good of a job they've done this year. And I think that, you've got to credit some of that to some of the hitting people that they brought in.
No doubt.
Tate.
Yeah, Corbin, taking you back to kind of spring training, you have the broken hamate bone right off rip. It cost you the chance to go take part in the WBC. You ended up returning very quickly and being ready to go right when the season started. What was that kind of process like? What did you learn from it? It seems like hitters always have kind of a different story about what it's like to get comfortable and work through those things, but how hard was it to miss the WBC, and what is the process since as you've recovered and started playing this season?
Yeah, it's been it's definitely tough. Definitely wanted to play in the WBC. Would have been just a huge honor, and it'd have been pretty cool because I think two of the players on that team were on my 18U USA team, and so kind of being able to go full circle and go USA with those guys, on that stage would have been just really special. But yeah, obviously not in the cards this year. Rehab wise wasn't terribly long. I think kind of back in games at like that 6 week mark. And then, yeah, I mean, I'd say the first month of the year, it's like, all right, like this doesn't feel amazing, but, can ready to go. And then, yeah, by that first month mark, I'd say we're in a really good spot. And then the kind of fight since then has been, they took bone out, and so now kind of scar tissues building up in there. So I'd say just right now it's been the fight to kind of keep that that wrist, like scar tissue broken up, wrist mobile, and kind of keep sort of any like impingement kind of out of there.
You mentioned that 18U team. PCA, I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was when you guys were all at the Futures game, said it was the greatest amateur team of all time. I wanted to ask if you feel that way, and if you could name some of the
big statement. I don't know if I know that much about amateur USA teams to be able to make that claim, but no, it was an incredible team. I think every position player besides one has made it to the big leagues, and I think that one player is in AAA with the Nats, and kind of a phone call away. So that'd be a pretty impressive accomplishment. It was in, I want to say, December, so I don't think we had all the best arms there, but still had Jack Leiter, Riley Cornelio. We just faced bullpen arm with the Nationals. But yeah, I mean the names that it was Bobby Witt, it was Anthony Volpe, who else? Riley Green, CJ Abrams, Dylan Cruz,
dudes.
Crazy, man.
Dudes.
It was ridiculous.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Well, dude, let's jump in a time machine, and we're blasting not to the past, but we're blasting to the future. Because we're a couple years away where we're going to be waving the red, white, and blue in the Olympics, my dude. And we're going to be digging in the box in the Olympics. And I understand there's a lot of nuance that goes into the availability. There's a lot of politics that's going to go into whether or not major league players are going to be available and blah, 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 blah. Let's live in a world where everything figures itself out. And you get the phone call. Ring! Corbs, this is D-Row, or whoever the hell it's going to be. You trying to rock the red, white, and blue? You trying to be on the Olympic team? What say you, dog?
I mean, what is there to say? You don't even have to make the call. You know.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that would be unbelievable.
I love it.
I didn't get to ask. This is my last one. I didn't get to ask this the first time you came on. But being a Seattle guy, best band to come out of Seattle, in your opinion?
I don't know, man. Honestly, that big Seattle music scene was a little before my time.
Grunge? Not a grunge guy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our hitting coach, that's his jam right there. So we'll have some grunge days, some Seattle bands in there. But yeah, I mean, that was more what, 90s?
90s, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not an excuse though. Like I was born in the 90s and I'll listen to like bands from the 70s.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta pick one.
All right, let's see. Seattle.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could tell you. I mean, yeah, this is bad.
That's awful as a Seattle guy.
I could probably help you out here, Corbin, just because we did we do drafts on our Patreon channel. You should probably go check that out. But I actually won. I won the draft where we drafted.
I don't know how
all-time albums, music albums
was ass.
I won that draft. So like when it comes to taste, like that's
you didn't even take a Seattle band. I did.
But look, I mean, that doesn't mean that I can't identify quality talent, right?
Doesn't sound like it to me.
I mean, there's only one, if you ask me.
There's three.
No, there might be, but there's only one option. It's Nirvana.
Oh God.
So what about the Vetter Cup, right? So it's the Padres and the Mariners. Is that whole thing because that artist likes those teams, or like what's the connection? What's that whole deal?
Eddie Vedder is a Seattle guy who's a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
He's a Cubs
He
fan.
grew up in San Diego. That's the connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so he's baseball fan. So we'll go Pearl Jam then for.
All right. Yeah. That's a respectable answer. I feel like everyone just defaults, like the people that have no taste, like Dallas, they just default to Nirvana because they're like, oh, Seattle, Nirvana. Yeah. Like he's like, oh, baseball, Babe Ruth. Like that's his favorite player. Like Dallas is a simpleton. Just look at him. Like, oh,
easy.
like, yeah. Who are you in Mario Kart? Oh, I'm Mario. Like that's Dallas.
Toad,
Yeah.
get dominated. Toad,
Yeah,
catch,
he's just
catch
like
hands with Toad.
the
dog.
most like default standard brain that you could think of. Jay, hey, do you have one last question?
Yeah, I got one more. Without giving away the secret sauce, I mean, your performance against lefties this year has been out of this world. 347 OPS over 1,000. It's a 200 point increase over what you did last year and over what your career mark against lefties was. Is it just you're red hot over 150 or so plate appearances, or do you feel a little bit different against lefties in the box this year?
I will say I do feel different. Just yeah, it has been different, but the flip side of that is the performance versus righties has not been up to par, and so
well, we don't have to talk about that. We're focusing on the lefties.
It's been kind of a it's been a little bit of an interesting year. So I think just trying to piece this puzzle together and figure out why exactly it's been the way it has. I think on to some stuff with just like how I'm lining up, and then I think the body's just moving a little bit different this year. But yeah, we'll see if we can keep that where it is and hit the righties a little better.
There you go. Dallas, you got one more for the road?
Yeah, I mean, we already asked him the hot tub question, so I'll ask you right now, Corb. Favorite card in your collection?
So there's a collector out in Hawaii who collected a bunch of my just early, high school, early pro ball cards, and just kind of made a connection with him. He'll shoot me a text here and there. Just really nice guy, but he sent me some of the cards that he'd bought did well, and kind of as a thank you, he sent me, it was my high school, like the Under Armour All-American game.
Okay.
He sent me like a card that I'd signed for that event. And
sick.
it was probably the first card I ever signed for Topps. And so I think that's kind of a cool connection. It's like number 1 out of 499. So I think, you start with the biggest number and work your way down. So I think it's literally the first card I ever signed for Topps.
That's dope. That is dope. What an incredible get. That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, it was definitely special. So thank you, Mike, for that one.
Shout out, Mike.
Shout him out.
What island? Do you know?
They are on, or he's in Honolulu, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, Wahoo.
Yeah,
right on.
All right, 2-time guest Corbin Carroll. Wow, that's you joined in a very exclusive club.
Jared, one more time, he's dog calendar capable.
Yeah, so once you reach 3-time guest, then at some point we're going to be putting out the Baseball Is Dead dog calendar. Do you have a dog?
I got 2 cats.
So can you put a dog costume on the cats? Maybe.
Yeah, if you could do that.
we can go with that.
Yeah, if you can put a dog costume on the cats, then you'll be eligible for the Baseball Is Dead dog calendar, which is only for 3-time guests and more. So that's the exclusive of the exclusive club. So
Cat Daddy Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you so much for taking the time again. Big thank you to Corbin Carroll for coming on the podcast again. Love me some Corbin Carroll. Also love me some BetterHelp. This episode, as always, is sponsored by BetterHelp. We love the folks at BetterHelp. For some Summer is their favorite season. Travel picks up, kids are out of school, and adventure is the focus. And for others, juggling it all can be tough and can lead to overwhelm and counting down the minutes until kids are back in school. And many worry that they are wasting days of sunshine. T, I know you're in the gym. Are you still doing your walks?
I haven't been outside as much. I've been more just inside on the treadmill, incline.
So you're wasting days of sunshine, it sounds like.
A little bit.
Why don't you go get some sunshine today?
It's raining.
Okay. Tomorrow?
I think the whole forecast is cloudy.
Friday?
It's part of the week.
Are you going to get some sunshine on Friday?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're not wasting it. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the United States. BetterHelp does the initial matchmaking work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 12 plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means that they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. You don't have to say yes to everything this summer. Find support in therapy. Sign up right now, and you can get 10% off at betterhelp.com/rocket. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rocket. What were we going to talk about for the Kalshi segment? It was NL Player of the Month, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let me pull up some numbers here. Well, the folks at home, look at what the Kalshi users are forecasting. I'm going to look at the month of July. Today's the 29th, yeah?
Yep.
It does feel that
Allegedly.
way.
I got to tell you, there was an intriguing player in this conversation that might not have been getting run as much run as some of the other guys.
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Sure. Yeah, please.
Are you going to go pitcher here?
No.
Is it a teammate of who's leading?
No.
Is it someone that plays for the Marlins?
Mm-mm.
Oh, then I don't care.
I mean, I don't know that Kalshi even had them on the radar.
Oh, hey, Dallas. Hey, Dallas.
Curtis Mead was having a pretty good July.
Yeah.
Third in WRC plus this month, buddy.
Right, yeah. You know who had the third highest OPS in the National League in the month of July, Dallas? It was Curtis Mead, you piece of shit.
I mean,
CJ Abrams, 1178. James Wood, 1155. Curtis Mead, 1115. They were 1, 2, and 3 in OPS, all teammates. There's only 2 left. Why? Why, Dallas?
Baseball happens. That's why.
Terrorism happened. Terrorism happened.
Hit by pitches this season. 8.
Crazy.
So at some point in time, maybe do you talk to Curtis Mead about like refining the approach at the plate?
He's
maybe
not
backing
gonna be
off.
We're
the plate a
blaming
little?
him. It's his fault.
No, I'm just asking.
What I'm hearing.
He's
Just asking.
I'm not saying he's the choice. I'm not saying he's the choice for National League Player of the Month, especially now that he's in the hospital, never mind the American League. But the fact that you had 3 Washington Nationals, 1, 2, and 3 in OPS in the month of July, very impressive.
Pretty ridiculous. CJ Abrams, I mean, you stack up the numbers and you compare them to a guy who we are talking about like handily potential triple crown runner, right, T? Like that's who CJ Abrams is stacking up against in terms of just overall production, regardless of the league and blah, 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 blah. But it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous to see what CJ Abrams has done in the month of July, comparatively speaking. And obviously the caveat that you have multiple teammates posting similar type production, which is really strong. But it feels like this is kind of what you wanted CJ Abrams to turn into. That's why I think a lot of people look at the Padres and go, man, could you imagine if you had a guy like, tickets, Jared?
Yeah.
The Washington Nationals had 3 players in the top 3 in OPS this month. They played 22 games. What would you guess was their record this month, Dallas? 22 games.
22 games. I'm going to say, 10 and 12.
See, I don't know. This doesn't make sense because this says that they're 11 and 10, but they played 22 games. How does that make sense? That doesn't make sense.
StatMuse has it as 11 and 10 as well.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, that does not check out.
No.
The
That math
isn't-
does not math.
No.
Did they do a makeup game this month that technically didn't exist in this month and maybe actually existed in another month? Like the Red Sox had the doubleheader coming out of the All-Star break?
Quite possible.
That would
Quite
make
possible.
sense, I guess. Yeah.
Feels like
Yeah.
that'd be the only way that could make sense.
Yeah. This is saying that they are 11 and 10, but they played 22 games. That would make sense, T. That's a good theory.
Yeah, they only have 21 box scores in the month of July. So
Okay.
I will say on the Abrams front, what really impresses me, and I think it makes the conversation for the Nationals even harder leading up to the trade deadline, is you are getting the peak version, the best version we've seen of him, and he's doing something in the month of July that he didn't do a year ago. Like you kind of go back in time and remember where he was as a player the last 2 years. He's fallen off so badly in the second half. Last year in July 2025, it was a 96 WRC plus. So to kind of flip the world, and now you're sitting out here with the second best WRC plus a year later in July at 212. If you're talking about selling high and selling a player at their premium value, this feels like kind of the situation for it. He's not a free agent until 2029, so you're getting this pennant race and 2 beyond that. I think it only makes that conversation harder for the Nationals who don't seem all that close to making that decision. But I don't know if teams are calling, this is probably when it's going to be the best situation to deal him. At least if you care about value, not versus, where the franchise or you are in your build.
yeah, I got to be honest. Like I get the defensive concerns. I know he's not a shortstop long term. I know the reporting that was saying that rival teams are not viewing him as such. So the packages being offered in hypothetical trades are reflective of their concern about his ability to stay there, or just their feeling that he's just not a shortstop. And I think that was a pretty compelling thing as to whether the Nationals should be trading him, right up until the point where he started posting 150 OPS pluses. You know what I mean? Like I do feel like we have transcended. I guess we'll see whether this is the high water mark or whether this is, something resembling a new level of performance. But like, to me, even if we lose a little bit, like I think we've gotten to a point of offensive production where put him in the outfield, put him at second base. Like, I'm not sure I really care. He's 25 years old. And that you have a guy who is performing at this offensive level at this point. And I think there are, like, to T's comment about doing stuff that he's never done before and that kind of thing. Like, I think there are pretty tangible explanations for why CJ Abrams maybe hadn't unlocked the best version of himself offensively under the previous administration. Like, I think we know now that maybe that group was not leveraging the talent that they had in-house like the current administration can do. And so I believe in CJ Abrams. And to me, his offensive production and his overall value have crossed the threshold for where, to me, if I'm the Nationals, I'm viewing him as a core piece moving forward and not as a trade chip.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Jay. Hey, I just don't know that you can identify, you can look at what he's done, and like in the event that you think that there's other players who are obviously going to be lesser players, especially from a prospect perspective, which are very hard to predict and project, who's going to make you better? How many players of his ilk do you think are just laying out there waiting to develop that are going to fall into your lap? Is this not a player that you have to keep and build around moving forward? That's how I look at it. This is the dude. If we're looking for a prospect to develop and turn into something, well, that happened and he's yours now. So don't move him. I think it's kind of that simple.
In the Curtis Meade situation, to me, would be one of those spots where you're like, I was able to sell this guy for some of the young pitching we don't have. Our offense, best in baseball. We know what we can do. We bang. If we get pitching a year from now, why can't we be up there with any other contender? Well, you were able to get enough value out of a guy in Curtis Mead who was DFA'd a couple months ago. So shouldn't that make it a little bit easier not to obsess over what CJ Abrams could bring back to you? Because you got what they view as a top of the rotation arm. That's the reporting around the team at the moment. Cool. If you think Connolly Early is that, then you should have a greater will to hold on, because now you have a bigger piece to figure out that pitching equation. And if you're one step closer to doing that for next year, to have two shots at that where this offense is, at its prime, at its peak, and maybe even has a chance to be better than what it's already been, that feels like a hard thing to just throw away or delay for a couple more years while you try to find a replacement.
No doubt. No doubt.
More depressing news. It's been a struggle for a very close friend of the pod, Shane Bieber. Yeah, the Savant is ice cold.
First percentiles. When you see that many, it is an ugly life to live.
Expected ERA, expected batting average, first percentile, fastball velocity, which, he was never a flamethrower, 18th percentile. Strikeout percentage is in the 7th. Walk percentage is in the 9th. Barrel rate, 11th. And hard hit rate in the 8th.
That's all obviously concerning. He walked 6 batters in 2/3 of an inning last night.
Did you have a nug? Did you have a nug on the stream?
He's the first to do that since Dempster in 2001. Walk 6 or more batters without getting out of the first inning.
We're talking
never
about
had walked 5 guys in a start. He had never walked more than 5 in a start in his career.
Like Dallas, what is that just like irreparably broken? Is that like I'm not asking you to take a leap of faith here, but like 6 walks in 2/3 of an inning suggests something, right?
Yeah, well, it could be. Look, man, as your body continues to try to rebound and bounce back from some of the injuries that you've incurred, from some of the stuff that still ails you, if that's the case, then you have to remember that the actual feel for how you're moving and the feel for the baseball, you're trying to sync those things up, and that stuff can come and go, because it was 2 starts in a row before this start where if you just peel away the metrics and the life on the pitches, which I know in today's day and age is tough to do, but let's say we're living in simply a results-oriented world, all right? He put together 2 pretty good starts back-to-back against the White Sox and the Rays. 13 innings of 1-run ball. Punched out 9. Just 2 walks in those 2 starts. And then you have a start like this. And that's not to say that, man, is there concern? I think anytime you see command wane to that extent could be a little cause for concern. I think initially you're always driven to, especially a guy who has some injury history, to wonder, is there something going on? Is there still something nagging? Is there, and again, not my place to disclose any of that, but you just have to remember that when you don't feel the best and you've gone through what Shane Bieber has gone through here recently, it's going to take some time for things to line up. And you're never, ever, and this is what happens when you incur multiple injuries kind of back to back and you're dealing with stuff, is when you're initially injured, you're taking a step back. That recovery time is used to get you back to where you were, and then hopefully even a little better to make progress. When you're injured multiple times and you're trying to come back, it's like you never really even get back to the baseline of what you were. You're almost just trying to become a serviceable shade of what you were after the first injury, which is tough to get to. And it's just it's an uphill battle, man. And so when you just look at the, if you're taking a 3-start sample, that 1 start compared to the last 2 that I just mentioned, obviously grotesque. There's no other way to describe it, but it just, yeah. I have an idea what's going on, but again, it just, man, it's just such a difficult thing to go through mentally as well.
Sure.
Well, that's the weird thing. And he said after the game, Dallas, to your point, I thought I pitched the best game I have in a Blue Jays uniform last start. Like, that's how good I felt out there. And it makes you go back to the offseason where I think everyone was immediately shocked when he opted into his player option. It was like, something is off here. He misses the first couple months of the year, and he got his head beat in with the back-to-back homers in that first start back with the Blue Jays. But just what he's doing on the mound is a lot different. And I'm not going to act like I know, because I certainly don't. But we saw how important the slider was in his arsenal for so many years, where it was a top 2 or top 3 pitch no matter what. Even last year, post TJ, he was throwing it 20.2% of the time. It had a 36% whiff rate. The expected WOBA was 263. It was his 2nd most used pitch. It's dropped all the way down to his 5th most used pitch this year. and it's getting mauled. It's a 576 expected WOBA. The whiffs are there, but
so let me ask you this:
getting mauled.
What is that? I mean, again, I'm just going to turn it around. What do you see? What do you think when you see those numbers?
That clearly there is a rustiness or an inability to get the feel for that slider that he had even a year ago. Now, is that partially due to the layoff that happened this year that threw him off, or is simply the arm not able to handle using that pitch maybe the way he once did? I don't know.
No, you do.
Okay.
And it's a combination of all of those things, right? And if you don't feel like you can recover, and there's something that puts the most stress on you, and it's still not as good as it once was, do I now have to avoid what has been my biggest weapon? Fuck, if so, that'd be like asking me to go out there and not throw a changeup. Excuse me? So what do you want me to do? Write the fucking lineup out? You want me to bring towels down for the guys? Like what would I do then if I can't do that? And that's why I say it's tough mentally to go out there knowing that there's a roadblock, not only a physical roadblock, but a clear and obvious execution roadblock. Because if I do throw this, it's almost like knowing that things are about to go south physically, and I've got a choice to make. I can throw it and let the chips fall where they may, and who knows what it looks like after I let this one go, or I can try to baby it. I can not throw it. I can shy away from it. I can try to pick my spots with it. And now I'm a completely different pitcher than I've been before in my entire life.
And you see it. I think he's trying to push this changeup forward as his way, how he's going to do stuff. And there's good results on it. It's an 87 batting average. The expected WOBA is like a 304. He's getting whiffs at a 25% rate. But I think with Shane Bieber, what he did so well was how he used to tunnel his arsenal. And it really threw hitters for an absolute spin. If you can't do that with the slider to set up other pitches like you did before, or to have maybe a fastball that's rather underwhelming, and it's about half a tick or down compared to last year. But you look at the pre-Tommy John years, there were times when it was 90, 91. It's not a velocity problem. It just seems like the entire arsenal doesn't click together with what he is able to throw at this point or what he has feel for.
I think he's done. I think Shane Bieber's done.
Done?
Done. I'm not, that's no inside information. That's just my opinion, having watched Shane Bieber and where this has been headed for multiple years now. And like, I don't think he's actually retiring, but that has never to me been a fastball that you can pitch off of. When, to what Tyler just laid out, the breaking stuff is not top of league. And when Shane Bieber was at his best, it was when he was selling out for swing and miss and just being absolutely incredible with that off-speed stuff. And I don't think the changeup is going to get to a point where he can live off of that as what Tyler laid off of. And I don't think that the separation's ever going to be big enough with his four-seamer. And I think the slider, the knuckle curve, the combo are done being the sorts of pitches that can be relied upon for Shane Bieber.
Dude, fucking Cy Young, Triple Crown.
All-Star Game MVP.
All-Star Game, two-time All-Star Game MVP. To be done at 31 would be fucking tragic.
I mean, he has a chance to be one of those guys. Like, you know, many of them, it feels like, have been Cleveland or have made stops in Cleveland. But, you know, all-time peak stuff or recent history peak stuff for Shane Bieber. But, you know,
Carlos Carrasco is still getting jobs. And he's been done for like 7 years. So I don't know.
This would be my question.
Some team, the Angels, Angels will sign Shane Bieber.
He's getting 3 years, Jared. He's getting 3 years to work on.
He still has the Manoah path to take.
Yeah, if he still wants to pitch, the Angels got a job for him, no doubt.
My question would be, and he's a big pitching lab guy. I know pre-Tommy John, we got all those clips over that offseason of him just working in there, and they were trying to rebuild the velocity. He knew at the end of the year something was off. There was a punishment that came with what he did in the regular season and the playoffs. So let's assume he gets through the regular season. He can't really work on stuff. He can't really build up. He can't really do these things because he's dealing with this inflammation, the fatigue. And then you get into this year where it's strictly a race to try and get back on the mound, to try and help a Blue Jays team that is drowning and is dead. Could that be part of it? Does he need an actual offseason of being healthy to work back and kind of figure out what this new version of him is? I think that's on the table here. But man, it's been, last year he was able to be a good enough pitcher for them in the stretch and the playoffs. Like, we've seen it enough. I'm not saying top of the rotation Shane Bieber, but like a suitable, at least back end starter if you had to get by.
I mean, this is going to be 3 seasons removed from the last time he was that guy over any meaningful amount of time. And
no, but if you can give me a 3.57 ERA and like a 4.40 FIP, like there's money for you to be made, and there's a spot in a rotation for you in the big leagues. Like that's where we were.
Yes, he did, but he did that over 7 starts. I'm talking about over a meaningful, like, part of the deal with Shane Bieber is he can't fucking stay on the mound. Like,
that's part of it for sure.
A 3.57 with a 4.5 FIP over 7 starts actually isn't attractive to me at all. Like that, if that's what you're putting, not you, but just like Shane Bieber,
of course.
As like the selling point here, I'm looking at the fact that we're going to be 3 full seasons removed from the last time that he was that over a sustained period. And honestly, even if I'm looking at 23, like I think there's more concerning things about 2023 than encouraging things. So like, I don't know, man. Like I'm not rooting against the guy, but it's hard for me when I've seen what he was and how he was successful doing it. And just like, yeah, pitching lab, like he was with Cleveland, you know what I mean? So,
and the Blue Jays aren't a bad pitching lab.
No.
Like, it's not like they don't know what they're doing or something.
No, and I know sometimes like Cleveland can be a great pitching situation, and it's about it getting a different perspective on the situation or removing yourself from the situation that you've been in for your entire career and getting a different look at it. But I'm extremely pessimistic on his ability to get, like, even if you want to say the back end is the goal, like the combination of being that back end and being healthy enough to actually log the innings to provide value in that role, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, without top of the rotation upside, it's a much different conversation at that point in time. If you are simply there to give us 150.
I just put something else in the scoop shop, T. Do you see it?
Nope, I didn't.
Yeah, I updated last night's scoop.
Why didn't that pop up? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't.
I always get the live game chat one, but for some reason, the scoop shop is a little slow.
Well, you read that. Autopilot is excited to partner with Baseball Is Dead. Investing can be complicated. It can be time consuming. And unless you really know what you're doing, it can be pretty stressful. That's where Autopilot comes in. Autopilot is an app that basically lets you find people or strategies that you trust to invest your money and then automatically mirror the trades that they make. They have an entire marketplace of investors and strategies to choose from. If you want AI picking stocks for you, they have different strategies built by AI and finance PhDs. If you'd rather follow a professional, they have former hedge fund traders sharing their picks as well, including people with experience at places like Citadel and BlackRock. The whole point is to make investing a lot less complicated. You choose an investor or strategy, connect your personal brokerage account like Schwab or Public, allocate however much money you want, and then let your investor make a trade. Your account automatically makes that trade too. And people already using this at a pretty massive scale. Autopilot has more than $1.8 billion invested and over 200,000 clients. So instead of sitting there trying to figure out which stocks to buy them, when to sell them, and constantly checking your portfolio, Autopilot is designed to take a lot of that work off your plate. And for those of us who already have enough things to worry about every day, I can definitely see the appeal in that. So honestly, at this point, why stress out about picking your own stocks when you can just find someone better to do it for you? Find more by searching Autopilot in the App Store. That's Autopilot, AUTOPILOT in the App Store. Check them out today. Thank you to Autopilot for partnering with BID.
Hey.
Love that. It sounds like it's Family Feud time, no?
Hit it.
Yeah.
By far, the most excited I've been for a Family Feud guest. By far. It's not even close, Jerry. Not even close.
Okay.
The one, the only, the immortal, Miss Ellyn Carrabis joins the program.
Yes!
Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Welcome into Baseball Is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens, but who gives a shit? Because our woman is Ellyn Carrabis. Welcome in. Mother
Thank
of the pod.
you.
Yeah, welcome
Yes. Great to
Thanks
see you
for having
again,
me.
Ellen.
That's crazy.
That's right, though.
Do you
Oh,
feel
I
extra
love it.
pressure now, Jared?
No, I mean, like, I am the best of all time at this. Like, whether I go first, whether I go second, whether I have a guest, whether I don't have a guest, like, I am truly the GOAT. So it's gonna make me feel bad if I have to beat my mom.
Yeah.
So hopefully she's my partner in this. Yeah,
Well-
I'm kind of rooting to team with her, but if not, then I will show no mercy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have some news on that front.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jose and I we worked overtime on this, but unfortunately we were not able to solve the problem with the wheel. So unfortunately we have to bypass that. Yeah. And the teams are Jared and Tyler against Dallas and Ellen.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
No, it is. That's what. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not.
No, it
I
is.
love
It
it.
is. Yeah. No.
Oh.
See,
Yeah.
Tyler's in. Everybody gets
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Milky,
Yeah.
there's no better duo than me and Ellen, bud. No better duo.
Now
Yeah,
I feel bad for what I have to do to this team over here. I
Oh,
don't.
come on.
Yeah, I wanted to team with my mom. All right, go ahead.
Shout out to Jose for giving us his best on that one, but unfortunately, yeah, we had to default to this. So, Ellen, do you have any opening thoughts? First time on Family Feud?
No, I'm just excited to do it.
Yeah, you are.
We're so excited to have you. Okay, so which side would like to go first?
Let
Ladies
them go
first.
first. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
okay,
I'll pop the headset.
okay. Ellen, you will go first then.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Because I don't have headphones on, so I don't know how to.
Like, it doesn't matter because if you go first, then you can hear everyone else's because you went first.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Best of luck, Ellen.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. You're gonna do great.
Thanks.
There's a family legacy on the line here, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you again for making the time. I know we tried last week. I appreciate you accommodating.
Last week was a crazy week, but yeah.
Oh, it was. Yeah, very excited to have you. Okay, are you ready? You I know you watch, you listen. Obviously, it's out of from the BID Discord. Shout them out. And this one is I tried to tailor it to some of your interests, so hopefully you enjoy. But here we go. Question number 1. Name Jared Carrabis's favorite Red Sox player of all time.
No more.
Question number 2. Rank the 4 members of the Carrabis family, Jared, Jenna, Ellen, and Patrick, from best to worst.
Oh, that's not nice. I really can't do that. Ellen, the best. I would say 1A, 1B is Jenna and Jared, and we got to bring Pat in last.
Question 3. If you could only choose one themed room at Kowloon, which would you choose? Would it be this is multiple choice. Would it be the Tiki Lagoon, the Volcano Bay room, the Hong Kong Lounge, the Thai Grill, or the Mandarin room?
Oh, the volcano room.
Question 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being a disgusting, appalling, antisocial freak, and 10 being the modern James Bond, how charming is Dallas Braden?
Oh, 10.
Question 5, last one. Jared is 37 years old right now, as you well know. At what age was he the most lovable?
Oh, say 2.
All right, Dallas. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, how'd we do?
She did well.
All right. I mean, like full disclosure, I even texted the group. I was trying to read her lips. I was trying to God only knows what we've got going on. All right. Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, question number 1. Name Jared Carrabis's favorite Red Sox player of all time.
Nomar. What the fuck? What is that wrong? I got to pick some.
Pick your second favorite. Try to clean up here.
Veritek.
Rank the 4 members of the Carrabis family from best to worst.
From best to worst. Oh man. Well, I think like a true mother, she's gonna say her kids are the best. So can I do that? Can I put them together at the top?
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll put them at the top, and then probably herself. She knows what's up. And then and then I'll go Patty.
All right, that's your order. That's what you're going with.
Yes.
You put Jared as the best.
No, from worst to best. No.
Oh,
from best to worst, right?
It was from best to worst.
Yeah. No. I'll put Jenna first then. 1A, because it's probably like a 1A, 1B type situation here. So that's why I said both of them together.
I want that one to cost somebody so bad. Question 3. If you could only choose one themed room at Kowloon, Dallas, which one would you choose? And remember, none of them serve old fashions. Is it the Tiki Lagoon?
Okay.
Is it the Volcano Bay? Is it Hong Kong Lounge, the Thai Grill, or the Mandarin Room?
Give me the Tiki Lagoon.
Question 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being a disgusting, appalling, antisocial freak, and 10 being the modern James Bond, how charming is Dallas Braden?
I mean, is there an 11? I'll stay within the realm. 10. A 10. No! Hey! A 9. A 9.
Real opportunity to clean up some there. Question 5. Jared is 37 years old right now. At what age was he the most lovable?
Like 10 minutes into it. Like at birth.
0.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ellyn, yes. Oh,
are you ready?
Little too much smiling and happiness going on.
Tyler, you keep it off. All right, Jared, you ready?
How do they do?
Oh, they did quite well.
Okay.
I mean, they certainly didn't bomb. It's not some insurmountable thing that you can't match, but they did well. They're a good team.
All right, great. That's awesome.
So we're saying the best.
All right,
no one said that.
Question number 1. Name Jared Carrabis's favorite Red Sox player of all time.
Nomar.
Question number 2. Rank the 4 members of the Carrabis family from best to worst.
From best to worst?
That's right. At whatever you want to interpret that as. Yeah.
Ellyn, Pat, Jared, Jenna.
Question 4. Question 3. If you could only choose one themed room at Kowloon, which would you choose? Would it be the Tiki Lagoon, the Volcano Bay Room, the Hong Kong Lounge, the Thai Grill, or the Mandarin Room?
Oh man. Definitely the Tiki Lounge. Yeah.
Question 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being a disgusting, appalling, antisocial freak, and 10 being the modern James Bond, how charming is Dallas Braden?
Oh God. It's a 1. It's a 1.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Last question. Jared, you are 37 years old right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At what age were you the most lovable?
The most lovable?
That's right.
Like by whom?
By the person answering the question.
By me? When have I loved myself the most?
Well, you're answering the question as to what you think the crowd answered.
Oh.
Obviously, that's how you play the game, of course. But
this is a bullshit question.
I don't even know what the most insulting answer is here.
I mean, probably one.
Okay, you're gonna go with one. All right.
Yeah, like a little baby.
All right, T, pop it on.
He's not gonna. You have to text him. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't even look.
Yeah. See, I was answering. I was trying to think like Ellyn.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Mhm.
Hey,
T.
Tyler.
My people.
My people.
How are you?
I'm good.
How do you how are you feeling about what you're going to deliver here?
I'm scared because I'm guessing it's not as baseball centric as usual, and the farther we get away from baseball.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's
That
You're
would
gonna
be
be great.
fear.
almost no
Hey,
baseball. Yeah.
Lock in. You're gonna be great.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're gonna be great. You got this.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
He's wincing.
I'm scared.
Question number 1. Name Jared Carrabis's favorite Red Sox player of all time.
Nomar. Manny.
Question number 2. Rank the 4 members of the Carrabis family from best to worst.
Ellyn 1. Jared. Nope. Jenna 2. Jared 3. And I'll go Jared's dad last.
Wow.
The fuck?
Poor guy.
Wow, what a shot!
I am terrified of Jenna. I'm more scared of her than I think anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. She would beat the fuck out of me in a parking lot easily.
Wow.
She would.
All right. Question number 3. If you could choose only one themed room at Kowloon, which would you choose? This is multiple choice, Tyler. Would you choose the Tiki Lagoon, the Volcano Bay Room, the Hong Kong Lounge, the Thai Grill, or the Mandarin Room?
I've never been, but give me the volcano.
Give him the Volcano Bay Room.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds hot. It sounds fiery.
It does sound cool. Yeah, no dispute.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
Not mocking you.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, serious answer. Question number 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being a disgusting, appalling, antisocial freak, and the 10 being a modern James Bond, how charming is Dallas Braden?
9.
Mm.
A little too sexual for me.
That's
For
crazy.
you?
Yes.
Question number 5. Jared is 37 years old right now. At what age was he the most lovable?
Give me 5. I
I'm
feel
sure
like that's around the age where
got a
things
ton of
turn.
votes. Yeah.
Think people are picking you at 29?
That's not what I picked. There's a right answer, and I got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to it. Question number 1. Name Jared Carrabis' favorite Red Sox player of all time. So everybody seemed to be all over this one, of course, because we all know Jared. This was more about cleaning up, I guess, the second best options. Ellyn obviously knows her son, said Nomar. That was the number 1 overall answer. That was worth 78 points. So
That a baby.
Did Jared
That a
guess
baby.
that?
good start there.
Yeah.
Jared also got that question. So
I got that right.
That is a washout.
Yeah.
Tyler came through with Manny Ramirez. That was the 3rd most common answer, 31 points. Dallas said
Poppy.
Jason Varitek.
Oh.
Unfortunately, that is the first veer of the afternoon. That was the 8th most common answer.
I was playing towards the recency bias is what I was
Yeah.
playing towards.
That
Would
was
you put
almost
Manny?
Too? Or Pedro?
who was number 2?
Yeah.
Ortiz
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was either
Would you
Poppy or
say that's
Pedro.
correct?
with 32.
Or Pedroia. Yeah. There's a lot of places you could go for 2.
So we're at 109 to 81 through question 1 in favor of the son and his friend. Pablo Sandoval, Pedro Martinez,
Oh God.
Dustin Pedroia were the other double-digit answers.
Was Dallas? Did anyone answer Dallas?
That's a good question. Did anybody answer Dallas? Yes, one person. Yep.
Yeah, it was Dallas. It was Dallas on his scooter on the way home. He was like, "Yeah, I might as well punch in some answers here." I got 5 minutes to kill.
Rank the 4 members of the Carrabis family: Jared, Jenna, Ellyn, and Patrick. I will say, Jared, that your mom did not want to answer this question.
Yeah.
She felt bad, but she did do the right thing because she ultimately ranked herself as the number 1. So she went with Ellyn, Jenna, Jared, and Patrick. It was a 1-1A. I pressed her though. I made her kind of give me an answer there.
Me and you, Ellyn, were on the same page.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy.
I did it. No, I did it even.
She did. That's the order I wrote it down in, it turns out. So Ellyn, Jenna, Jared, and Patrick. That's 22 wrong. Points. That's the 3rd most common answer. So another great answer from Ellyn there.
Bad answer.
Dallas came through with Jenna, Jared, Ellyn, Patrick. I'm going to be honest. A fairly random assortment of people, if you're going to order them in any sort of way. It was only worth 1 point. One person saw it this way. I'm telling you, one
shit
person.
In the bed.
Yeah, Dallas is really fucking up over here.
I had the 1-1A. I had the 1-1A. That's what I said.
It doesn't matter. Even if I flip those first 2, nobody was really buying the kids leading it off for the most part. Everybody really loved Ellyn in that number 1 spot. And then after that, you could kind of fill it in as you go. Tyler said Ellyn. Sorry, Jared said Ellyn, Patrick, Jared, and Jenna. That was worth 7 points. And Tyler said Ellyn, Jenna, Jared, and Patrick. That was worth 22 points.
That's a boy, T.
What I do.
T. Boy. What was the number 1 answer?
Ellyn, Jenna, Patrick, Jared.
Yeah, that was in my head. I was like, that feels like the right combo that the Who Savanites would vote for. Yeah,
that was worth 77 points.
Oh my God!
Wow. No, everybody loved you in that last spot there. Ellyn,
I mean, I just never would have voted that. I would have never said that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys get 29 points there. So you guys are up to 138 to 104. So it's a 34-point gap right now headed into question 3. If you could choose only one themed room at Kowloon, what would you choose? Ellyn said the Volcano Bay. So we've got, this is basically a wash across the board because we have 2 votes for Tiki Lagoon and 2 votes for Volcano Bay. For the record, Tiki Lagoon was the overwhelming number 1 answer. That was 81 points.
Wow.
Volcano Bay would still get you 49. So good work all around as we get 130 points between the 2 answers on this question alone. Hong Kong Lounge 40, Thai Grill 16, Mandarin Room. Not a lot of respect to the Mandarin Room.
No.
They don't serve old fashions.
Yeah,
no,
bad
they
shit
don't.
goes down in there. Yeah.
So we're at 268 to 234. So still that 34-point lead going into question 4. The Dallas Braden question. How charming is Dallas Braden? Obviously a polarizing question. Really an eye of the beholder if there ever was one, or maybe maybe it's like a single eye of the beholder, Ellyn said a 10 though.
Oh
yeah. That is.
I'm sorry, Jared.
Dallas tried for a 10, but he went to a 9. Anyway, a 10 is the number 1 overall answer. It's worth
that's
30.
Crazy.
It's worth 36 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The problem is that a 9. Nobody wanted the 9 because they were all too busy lining up at the 10. The 9 is the least common answer. Actually, it was only worth 5 points. So you get 41 points out of that to bring you up to 275. We have a 9 on Tyler's side as well. Jared said 1. So he was the polar opposite of Ellyn and really Dallas. 1 was the second most common answer, though. As I said, polarizing. You either love him or you hate him. To look at him.
How many points?
29 points.
So the number 1 answer was what, 30?
No. 10 was the number one answer.
I know, but how many
36,
points was it?
36.
36. Okay, so a 7-point swing. All right.
So you lost 7 points there. You gain. Yeah. It's
we had 7 to burn there, T.
Yeah, you gained 34, so you're up to 402 or sorry, 292. So it is we need some help here. Jared is 37 years old. At what age was he the most lovable? Ellyn said 2 years old. You were the most lovable at 2.
Okay, so that's the correct answer. I mean, it's kind of subjective there.
It was a good year for you.
Yeah.
That is the 8th most common answer. You're going to get 7 points there. Dallas said
you're just wrong.
He was going for like an at birth sort of never situation. Like
he said 0.
Like we're still sort of waiting kind of situation. So he said 0. That was the 3rd most common answer for 19 points. So that's a total of 26 points for you guys. Jared, you said 1. That was the number 1 overall answer. 26 points.
Wow.
Jared and Tyler win. Tyler's 5 points was worth 4 points. It was,
but you know what, Jay?
Hey,
I'll say this: regardless of what the scoreboard reflects,
I
don't know that I've ever felt closer to my teammate after this. So I think that's what matters. I walk away a winner regardless today.
You don't. Agree. And basically, like I said in the beginning, I am the fucking best at this. Whether I go first, whether I go second, I will get the most points. My team will win. I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. So at least, you walk away a loser today, Ellyn, but you're really a winner because you created the greatest of all time in Family Feud.
You're right. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what you get. That's what you get for ranking Jenna above me.
I didn't.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and look at the tape. We're gonna have a nice little review.
1A, 1B, but I didn't give a name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jay Hay slotted those in by his own volition.
You'll have to go back and listen to the tape to really determine how you feel about it in the end.
Okay.
Yeah. But Ellyn, did you enjoy your first experience at Family Feud?
I did.
We appreciate you coming and making time for us. It was really special.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, hopefully you'll come back again.
Was Ellyn the guest last week that you said was very excited? Okay, all right.
Yes.
What did you have to do that when we postponed it that you were unavailable?
Oh, I had to go meet with the real estate agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tell you guys that I just got my real estate license.
That was a bar. You got to tip your cap. It was a bar.
In other news,
thank you, Ellyn, for joining us today.
Bye, Ellyn.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Back here again with Awaken 180. And listen, I didn't realize how much of my day was spent negotiating with food until the negotiation stopped. What can I eat? When can I eat? Did I mess this up? Every meal had a pregame show and a postgame breakdown. Just over a month into Awaken 180, I'm down 27 pounds. I've lost weight every week, and food takes up less space in my head. I'm no longer sitting there hoping to order, some kind of pizza or wings at the end of the night. It's all been removed from my brain. The app gives me the numbers, so I'm getting calories, protein, carbs, and the plan tells me exactly what to do. Every Friday, I meet with someone from the Seekonk location who looks at the picture. Last week, it was Jenna. I think it's Skylar this upcoming week. But Jenna gave me tips, showed me where I could tighten things up, and sent me into the next week with a better approach. That's what I like. It's not one person handing me a plan and disappearing. I've got a team working to help me succeed. My cravings are way down. I'm sleeping better, and I'm down a full shirt size and pant size. Awaken 180. Thank you. Awaken 180 is medication-free weight loss with free support for life. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the official weight loss company of the Boston Red Sox. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Wow.
Good job, T.
Thank you, guys. We're getting there.
See, like people, when we go out and about, T's been getting a lot of love. People are noticing. People are noticing the weight loss. The hardest part is keeping it off. We've been doing that too, so.
Yeah, we're just very steady, and shout out Awaken. Knowing I have to go in every single week keeps me accountable, keeps me on program, and I like that.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you.
I think for me, I've noticed it in your face the most, which is why we need to figure out the beard situation again. Like it's too bushy. Like if you go tighter, it'll accentuate the weight loss a little bit.
So Coley brought up the point that I probably had to drop another 15 pounds before I did that because
you're in the red zone. You're in the red zone.
I'm close. I don't think I'm quite there. I think you give me another week or two. I have no chin, and it's such a bad sight. Last time you saw me without a beard, you didn't want to talk to me for a week. You considered taking me off the podcast.
Well, yeah, I didn't say shave the beard. I said tighten it up.
But the shorter it gets, the more you get of the neck.
I'm just seeing a lot of 2019 Jared on your face, and he fucking sucked. Like, I wish someone stepped in and did something about that.
It takes us all time.
Dallas and I tried.
The all-time cartoon draft is on the BID Patreon tomorrow, Thursday. It's only on the Patreon, patreon.com/baseball is dead. Please subscribe. Corbin Carroll, thank you for being on the podcast today. Future Red Sox shortstop Otto Lopez on the podcast on Monday. And then Jay Hay, some award-winning Nugs to close out today's show, please.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Thank you. Last night, the Rockies allowed 16 hits and committed 4 errors. You'll love to see that. It's the first time in over a decade they've done that. June 28th, 2016. That happened to be against the Blue Jays, if you wanted to know. Luis Lara, 21 years and 254 days old. That makes him the 5th youngest player in the wild card era to have a game featuring 1 triple, 1 stolen base, and at least 3 RBI. The only players younger: Bryce, Carlos Correa, Jordan Walker, and Elly De La Cruz. Tom Tango, I shared this on the stream last night, but Tom Tango, Tango Tiger on Twitter, ran an interesting search. Most strikeouts as a starting pitcher over a 456 plate appearance window, which is what Miz has thrown this season. Since 1969, including the playoffs, the only people with more strikeouts over that sort of span are DeGrom, Garrett Cole, Pedro Martinez, and Chris Sale. Probably not surprising names, but still interesting to put Mizorowski in context. I mentioned it. Shane Bieber, 2/3 of an inning, 6 walks. First pitcher since Ryan Dempster on October 5th, 2001 to issue 6 or more walks without getting out of the first inning. The entire list per Baseball Reference of players to issue 6 or more walks without getting out of the first inning: Bieber, Dempster, Todd Van Poppel, April of 94, Bob Feller in 52, Joe Coleman, Bob Hooper, Lou Brissy, Ray Phelps, and Hall of Famer Christy Mathewson. Continuing on, Jamison Tyone. Listen, I think whether his deal was a success or a failure, I think is a pretty interesting separate conversation. But nevertheless, you could make a pretty compelling case that Jamison Tyone was maybe the worst pitcher who was still getting regular turns in the rotation at this point in the season. So him being DFA'd, highest FIP of any pitcher with his amount of innings pitched this season. So happy trails to him. And lastly, and this is one I'm going to be tracking and probably doing an article on if you're interested on the BID Patreon. But Yordan Alvarez is currently tracking for, he's been tracking for a historic season, so to speak. But we like nice round numbers, and he's at a 201 OPS plus as of entering play on Wednesday. 200 or higher is a nice number to do some searches for. As of now, he'd be the 7th left-handed batter in AL history to have a 200 OPS plus or better in a single season, and the first to do so in over 4 decades. George Brett in 1980 was the last AL lefty to do so. The full list is Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams, Norm Cash, and George Brett. So in the absence of Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez is still delivering us what could be a really, really special season. And another note, this would be the 3rd consecutive season where we've had an AL batter deliver us a 200 OPS plus or better, with Judge having done it the previous 2 seasons and Yordan this year. It would be the first time that it's happened in 3 consecutive seasons in the AL since the era of Gehrig and Double X and Babe Ruth. Yeah, so those 3 combined to do it. It's taken only 2 players to do it this time, but those are the Nugs.
Thank you, Justin Havens. Dallas Braden, do you have a final thought today?
Yeah, just to update on A's minor league outfielder Ryan Lasko, who had the tragic incident, diving for a ball. Obviously suffered some paralyzation. Is starting to get some feeling back, and that's just for our organization. As much as the dude has been loved, and I know what his family is going through right now. Having my family encountered something very similar, I know what updates like that can do for the entire group. I know what it's done for our organization. I know what it's done for his family, and so I want to just a quick little update for the folks who've listened who are aware of that. So I couldn't be happier to hear that. And Rhino, we love you. Appreciate the work you're putting in, man. And I know it's hard, but you are not alone in this. Keep grinding, brother. Keep grinding. So just a quick update and a whole lot of positive news for Ryan Lasko at this point.
T.
Yes, new article just dropped this morning, and I dived into the subject of Rafael Devers. Is he back? Is what we're seeing something that you should be hopeful for? And I do think there's a lot of very interesting stuff about changes he's made that he's been speaking on record about, swinging a lot less. We had that conversation with PCA a couple months ago now, and how that kind of changed a lot of things for him. But the batted ball data right now is back to where it was when things were the best they ever were. The defensive metrics are in a much better place. He's shouting out Ron Washington. So please give it a read. There's a lot of details on that. And I think it paints a pretty good picture of where we're at in terms of Rafael Devers at this point.
Is there drama going on with the Phillies right now?
Yeah, Bryce Harper and Don Mattingly.
Yeah. I saw what you posted, T, about like his comments. Like, yeah, like we need like a pitcher and a bat. And
they're blowing the game right now. That's the other drama.
So Don Mattingly said, when you say something about our team, then you're saying something about one of our players that you don't like.
It's the quiet part.
But I don't think that that's necessary. I understand where Don Mattingly is coming from, because he's saying, if I had to ask you for a name, there's somebody that you would be willing to, there was somebody that you'd be willing to get rid of, either from the pitching staff or from the position player side of things. And Bryce Harper is probably saying, well, I understand that there's some truth to that. Do I want to readily identify player A and player B? No. Would I understand if this player went or if that player went in pursuit of getting other players in here? So be it. Okay, that's not my decision to make. And so then Don Mattingly's response is probably something like, well, then don't say stuff like that, because unless you're ready to come forward and put a name to the thoughts that you're putting out there, this is how it's going to be perceived. Is people in the clubhouse could look at you and go, so what, are we not good enough? And that's where you get into this back and forth, because is it unfair to say the response can be, well, maybe no, we're not quite good enough right now. We could be better. And if that's a fair response, okay. But now we get into the weeds of, well, do you want to hear that from a player on the team? Do you want to hear that from a star player on the team? Maybe not, because that can cause some friction and that can cause some divide. And so there's just a lot of back and forth when something like that comes about. So I can understand both sides of it, where Bryce Harper, because ultimately, isn't this what we've always talked about with players, is being forthright and being open about their opinions in the current state of their game, current state of their team specifically. And so when a player says, hey, we're maybe a bat and an arm away from being where we would like to be, is that a fair assessment? It can be a fair assessment. Can it also be an assessment that you don't want a star player to outwardly and publicly make? That can be true at the same time.
I don't know. It just feels like my read on it is that there's friction in that clubhouse, because there are plenty of other stars that if they were asked the question of like, hey, like, what do you need at the deadline? And they said, yeah, like we could really use some help, like with the offense and the pitching. And it's like, oh man, like, wow, like he spoke up on behalf of the players and said exactly what they need. And it's like, oh, good for him. But then Bryce does it. And it's like, what an asshole that he's throwing his teammates under the bus for not being good. It's really just, it's a matter of perception there. It's a matter of how you want to spin it. You could spin it however you want if you have an angle or you don't.
You want to spin it in a funny way, like you saw Preston Mattingly, right? He works for the front office. Is that a criticism that the team doesn't have all the talent they need, or that they're not fully in that position? It also goes back to Yes,
his son,
exactly.
right? You're are you talking about my son? You saying my son's not doing a good job?
Or he needs to go and do something. You're telling him he has to go make a move. And I'll throw with the backdrop. We've had a lot of Bryce Harper love in 2026. As of late, he has cooled back down. And when we're talking elite, right, as Dave Dabrowski called him out heading into this past year or at the end of last year, saying they needed him to get back to that. Well, right now, his WRC plus is worse than it was last year. And the numbers themselves are resembling last year more than they did the first or the previous 3 years before that were in that MVP territory. So, like, I don't know. I'm curious just what the outlook from the front office is with a comment like this and how they perceive it.
I also think, like, I just think broadly it reflects an incredibly high level of angst that exists in the Phillies organization right now at all levels, because I think everybody understands that the window, if it isn't closed, is closing rapidly, and that the offense is very, very, very far away from being a championship caliber offense. And like, that's with Bryce Harper and that's with those other guys. So I think everybody's kind of feeling it would be my read on that. And I like hate the friction with Don Mattingly to me is interesting moving forward too. Cause I just like, there was some sniping at Rob Thompson after he got, after there was some moving on from him, specifically about Brandon Marsh and maybe how he had been held back or that kind of stuff. And that, respectfully to Brandon Marsh, I think Rob Thompson has been more justified than not in that, with how Brandon Marsh himself has cooled off and very much turning in a standard issue Brandon Marsh offensive season at this point, where it's very much still a platoon problem for him. So like, these guys can blame the managers or there can be these internal problems, but at some point, like, it is going to be about whether the players perform. And like, I don't know.
An interesting part of this too, Jay Hay, is that Don Mattingly has come out and said like, not really interested in managing next year. Right.
Yeah.
So now you have a guy who's not really interested in the job next year, who's at the helm this year. And I'm not going to say he's 1 foot out the door, but if there is a feeling like, hey, why are you chirping? You don't even really want to be here next year. Who's to say you even want to be here right now? And so, to your point about there being angst, I think there's a lot of there's a stronger undercurrent than what we're seeing
for sure
in terms of surface level movement.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's like Bryce signed up for the rest of his career there and said no opt-outs, no trade, whatever. Like, I'm here. Like,
you're
I'm
out of
committed
here.
to this. Yeah.
It's the rabbit meme with the clock. We all know where the clock is. We all know how much time is left here. It's not a lot. And those guys know, because that franchise is going to be buried in bad deals very soon.
Well, that's depressing. All right. Enjoy the bonus draft episode that we put out on Thursday. And we'll be right back here on Friday with more of your favorite baseball podcast that has a former Baseball Tonight producer, a former big league pitcher, and a two halves of a Red Sox podcast, baseball podcast, produced by a Venezuelan man who does not know any musicians prior to probably 2007.
Didn't know the difference between the Rolling Stones and Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you one Rolling Stone song either. I'm right there with you, Jose. I have no knowledge.
You were in the
but
draft
you knew
where
they
I
existed.
outlined some of them.
Jose, can you name any member of the Beatles?
Yes, I've got the Beatles in my back pocket, Jared. Don't you worry.
Okay. All four?
John, Paul, Ringo, and the other guy.
Oh yeah, we've done this.
Yep. Wow, the other guy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when he did this, and I texted my dad, and I was like, out of all the Beatles to be the other guy, George being the other guy is crazy. Like, to know Ringo but not George is crazy.
Can I tell you the first time I ever heard of Paul McCartney?
Sure.
4 or 5 seconds with Kanye, Rihanna, and him.
Oh,
that was my first introduction to him.
I have to go before I'm going to get mad. All right, we'll see you on Friday.
Damaged life.
Well.